A first alert update from Appleton Police this afternoon. A teen now formally charged in a drunk driving crash that killed a married couple. Criminal complaint says 18-year-old Giovanni Cadavid was 17 on April 9th when he ran a red light at Wisconsin Avenue and Meade Street, T-boned a Honda CR-V carrying Alan and Margaret Hopsvenberger on their way to babysit their grandkids. Both victims later died from blunt force injuries. A passenger told police they'd been drinking all night and that Cadavid had been behind the wheel after buying tequila. A blood test taken about 3 hours after the crash put Cadavid's blood alcohol level at 0.195. That's more than twice the legal limit. He's now facing several charges, including multiple counts of homicide by intoxicated use of a vehicle.